My boyfriend used my own fanfic as a blueprint to set me up for a surprise threesome with our roommate, and the only reason I got away was because I bit him hard enough to make him bleed. Posted by uformalgoat6381. Okay, this is a lot, but please bear with me. I've had the most jarring and stressful 2 days, and I'm at a loss of what to do. I'm not even sure how to explain this. A lot happened in a very short window of time, and it left me confused and scared. But to start, my boyfriend apparently found my blog where I write and post fanfiction in my spare time. It wasn't a secret blog. I've told him about it in passing, but he just didn't seem interested. Most of it is safe for work, but there is some not safe for work stuff as well. Only around 10% of the not safe of work stuff are things I actually wrote for myself because I thought they were hot. The rest are commissions that people paid me to write. Please understand that a lot of them involve fetishes that I myself am in no way interested in. I wrote them to meet the specifications of the people paying me. I have no issue with the stuff I wrote. I have hard limits on what I will write and won't write things that make me uncomfortable, but it just isn't my cup of tea. Now, my boyfriend apparently went through and read some of my not safe for work stuff and got a few ideas of things we could try in the bedroom. Fine, normal. But instead of talking to me about it in private, he thought it would be more real and sexy if he were to surprise me. So he went to his friend, who is also our roommate, and got him into the idea of a threesome-type situation. My boyfriend is bi, but I'd assumed roommate was straight, so I don't even know how that conversation went. But they planned to surprise me when I got home from shopping. When I got home, roommate said boyfriend went to visit his parents. They live 10 minutes away, and I said all right and started putting stuff away with his help. After it was done, I turned around and roommate was literally 3 inches from me and backed me up against the fridge. I've never felt nervous around him, but in that moment I was very scared. He was acting strange and was too close. I asked him to back up. He refused and said he knew I liked him. Which in truth I had, almost a year before I'd had a very mild physical crush on him, but I never once entertained the idea of doing anything about it because I was already in a relationship. After living with him, though, the crush very quickly faded. I was mad at this point. He was giving me a very satisfied look, like he knew what I was feeling better than me. He suggested we get closer. He used a grosser term, and that boyfriend wouldn't have to find out. I was fucking stunned. Roommate and boyfriend have been friends longer than I known either of them, which is close to a decade. So to hear him just bluntly say we should cheat together was fucking insane. And I didn't get to say anything besides, "What?" before he leaned down fast and kissed me on the mouth. Everything happened so fast it felt like I moved in fast motion. I bit roommate on the mouth, breaking skin, and when he pulled himself back I didn't hesitate and punched him in the face. He ended up on the floor yelling. I grabbed my phone and was going to call 911 when, to my surprise, boyfriend came running out of roommate room looking panicked. He saw roommate on the floor bleeding and me standing backed against the fridge with blood on my mouth. Not a lot, but enough to see. After that, things sort of blur and we all ended up screaming at each other. I found out boyfriend found my blog, shared it with roommate, and they went through the not safe for work stuff and unilaterally decided the stories were me projecting my sexual desires onto the characters. And boyfriend thought I would be really into us all acting out one of the fics. I screamed at him that he was a fucking whack job and that all of those stories were commissioned work people paid me to write. I was shaking. I was and still am so fucking mad. I felt sick, like I was going to throw up because of how scared I got with roommate getting so sexually aggressive with me. I thought I was going to be assaulted in my own home. Boyfriend tried to apologize, but I told him to fuck off. Then I grabbed some clothes and left. I went to my sister's house and just cried after she let me in. I feel bad for that because her daughter was there and saw me break down. I didn't mean to scare her or my sister. Once I wasn't ugly sobbing anymore, I told her everything, and she said I should call the cops and report them for it. But I don't know if that's too extreme. I don't know what to do. Boyfriend been calling me, but I've not answered or listened to any of the voicemails he left me. I still feel violated and scared. Too much to think about going back right now. Roommate texted me a few times, apologizing, but I've not replied to him either. I'm just laying on my sister's couch alone at nearly 1 a.m., unsure what to do now. How to move forward. Aside from this huge fuck-up, boyfriend has been a great boyfriend. He's not perfect, but neither am I, but this is a really massive fuck-up and I feel lost. Do I talk to him, just break things off, ghost him? I left all my stuff at the house. Is there any way to salvage this? Would I be dumb to try? Any advice is helpful, thank you. Sorry for the word vomit, I'm very tired and a mess. Relevant comments. Commenter 1. Oh wow. First off, I'm so sorry you had to go through that. Secondly, I think you should take some time off away from your boyfriend. If he thinks springing a sexually aggressive roommate on you without prior warning is okay, then I'm not sure what else he's capable of. He needs to realize just how fucked up that is and earn your forgiveness. Regardless, even if you'd begged and begged for weeks for this threesome, there would still be times, dates, place limitations. You'd be fully aware. Being sexually attacked in your own home must have scared the life out of you. Op response. Yeah, I'm not going to be going back to the house for a while. I just don't think I'd be mentally okay to. And the funniest part is we've talked about three-ways before, years ago. Not like we were planning to do one, but we'd been talking on night in bed, and we talked about kinks and stuff, you know. I said I wouldn't be opposed to it, but I'd have to really, really trust everyone involved. I'm not someone who can just sleep with someone I'm not close to. Which, roommate is not someone I'd ever say I'm close to. We were borderline friends, sorta, but only in that we see each other every day and are okay with each other way. I don't know what happened. Commenter 2. Guess that book just slammed shut for a while. Honestly, take all the time you need. Let him sweat. Someone else is the thread, put it in the best way, your boyfriend arranged your rape. From your point of view, that's exactly what happened and he needs to understand that. Op response. I like to hope that if I actually started screaming or crying, then roommate would have realized something was wrong and stopped. But at this point I'm totally unsure. And that's fucking horrifying. Update 2 weeks later. Hey everyone, long update. My original post got a ton more attention than I thought it would. Talking with everyone really made me step back and see how serious what happened to me was. And helped me come to a smart decision, I believe. And a lot of people messaged me and offered a bunch of support and advice that I appreciate. Some asked if I would post an update once I figured out what I was going to do, to see if I was all right, etc. So here I am. To start off, I realized there's no salvaging this relationship. Not after this. There's no way I can continue to date someone who would actually go through with something this fucked up. Especially all on his own, without even once trying to see if it was something I'd even want. Even in the best case scenario, he would just be a massive asshole who didn't look before he leaped into an unthinkably terrible idea. But, worst case scenario, this whole thing was a lot more malicious than I'd like to dwell on. Neither option puts him in a flattering light. So boyfriend is now officially ex. A couple days after posting, I finally sat down and listened all the voicemails and texts ex and roommate left me. I was hoping for some insight into what they were thinking when they did this. But sadly most of it was just them begging forgiveness in the same breath they used to make excuses for everything. Saying it was all a mistake, they didn't think it would hurt me, they were just trying to do something nice, that they thought I'd like it, could I please talk to them? Typical stuff some folks on here told me they'd say. Then their pleas for forgiveness slowly turned exasperated and annoyed the longer I didn't pick up. Finally X asked me not to do anything crazy, like go to the police, because this was clearly all one big misunderstanding. And if I did, it could ruin how people see them, or worse. That was when it really hit me that neither of them seemed to actually feel bad for what they'd done. They weren't ashamed of cornering me and almost raping me, they were just scared I'd tell everyone and they'd get looked at funny. I took everyone's advice and filed a police report. I don't feel like it'll even go very far, but people were right. There needs to be a paper trail in case anything messed up like this happens again, be it to me or any other women they happen to enter relationships with. My sister went and sat with me while I told an officer everything. I even showed them the text messages and voicemails. To their credit, the cop who was handling this actually took everything down like he sorta cared. Whether they follow up with anything is up in the air. I wasn't ready to meet in person with either of them, but I needed my stuff out of their apartment, so I waited until I knew they were both working. Their shifts overlapped a couple times a week, and when their cars were gone from the lot, my sister, brother-in-law, mom, and I all came and got my things. Thankfully, we got everything of mine out, which included the microwave, living room TV, all the spices, kitchen stuff, half the cleaning supplies, the chair, the dryer, and some other miscellaneous things on top of my personal possessions. All things they can live without. There's a laundry room available at the apartment complex, and they never actually cook, so they'll be okay. But later my phone was blown up by ex and roommate when they got home, and saw I'd been there and taken all my stuff when they were at work. I texted them both a message saying I wasn't coming back, ex and I were over. I got my stuff and left their keys sitting on the table and locked the door on my way out. I even took a pic as proof. Their messages were mostly along the vein of, how will we pay rent now? Despite both of them making enough to cover it until they get a new roommate, so long as they don't blow their money on frivolous bullshit. I was never on the lease, so legally I'm fine on that front. I also said that I didn't want either of them contacting me in any way, shape, or form from here onward. I was going to block them on everything, and any further attempt to contact me would result in me getting a restraining order taken out on them. I didn't give them the chance to reply before I did, as I said I would, and blocked them. So far they haven't tried contacting me as far as I know, but we'll see. And finally, I'm still not feeling fantastic, but I feel much better than before. I'm still sorta anxious since everything, but I'm sleeping better now. I'm still going to work, but I did take a few days off to recuperate before heading back to the grind. I'm spending more quality time with my niece and sister Bil, which is nice. I've set up a remote session with a therapist, and will meet them via Zoom soon. I think talking through this will be good for me. I just want to thank everyone who commented and made me realize I'd been badly wronged. I was so ready to let my feelings for X influence my actions on this. I'm glad so many of you talked sense into me. It doesn't matter who someone is to you. If they do something this terrible to you, then they probably don't actually love you, and more than likely don't deserve your forgiveness. Edit. Thank you to everyone who offered their advice. It really helped put things into perspective for me. It made me step back and really look at the situation and see what happened was worse than I thought. I haven't spoken to boyfriend or roommate yet, but I'm going to be listening to the voicemails and read the texts and then figure out where to go from there. Once everything is over and the dust has settled, then I'll try to update everyone on how things went, but I don't know how long it'll be before then. I've got my sister, brother-in-law, mom, and friends helping me, so I think I'll be okay.